All right, hi. So we've got a spicy little shoulder and arm workout today. What you'll need is a light pair of dumbbells and a moderate pair of dumbbells. If you only have a light pair of dumbbells, that's totally fine. We're gonna do a lot of repetitions. So this is very high volume work with very little rest. And we're gonna start with about a 6-minute, kind of like a warm-up interval set, and then we'll move into 3 specific sets that focus on shoulders first, then triceps, and then biceps, and then we'll stretch and be done. So it's going to be a pretty quick workout. We've got about 25 minutes of work. You'll also need an elevated surface. We are going to do some dips today. If you don't have an elevated surface, that's fine. We can also use just the floor, and you can come up and we can do either a seated dip like so, or you can raise your hips and do a dip just like this. So if you don't have an elevated surface, no problem. Or if you feel more comfortable on the ground, that's great too. All right, let's get warmed up. We're gonna start right here with arm circles forward. Let's get about 10, just focusing on our breath. Nice, and let's go backwards. I'm excited about this workout. I rewrote this a few times. I didn't like how it felt the first time I tried it. It just didn't feel right. So we made it into a little bit more of an interval thing and with a little bit of a bodybuilding focus at the end. So I am very excited about that. All right, let's go one arm across the chest. Hold here for about 2 or 3 breaths. Switch over to the other side. And switch. Let's go one arm behind the head, just waking up those triceps, waking up the chest a little bit. Switch to the other side, and then we're going to finish last 30 seconds here kind of talking through our first few exercises. So you'll need your medium or light set of weights here. In about 20 seconds, we start with our first exercises. So we're gonna go 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. We've got 6 different exercises to go through, and we're gonna repeat our circuit twice. We'll take a little bit of a longer break before we repeat the circuit. First exercise coming up, we've got lateral raises. You can do these standing or seated, whatever you're comfortable with. 2, 1, let's go. 20 seconds to work here. Nicely done. So remember, we don't want to swing our arms too much. We want to just initiate that movement at the shoulders. 3, 2, 1, and rest. 10 seconds. Moving on to our second exercise. We've got bent over reverse fly pulses. So up to the side in 2, 1, and we're going to stay right here and just pulse. I want you to think, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Breathe, breathe. So this little 12-minute circuit we're going through, or 6-minute circuit we're going through, is kind of like a warm-up. You can use lighter weights. 3, 2, 1. Shake it out. Next, we're going into overhead tricep extensions. We can do these standing or seated in 2, 1. I've switched to my heavier set of weights here. And we want to keep those elbows facing forward and pointed up, extending our arms at the top. You can give a little flick in your wrist if you'd like to. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Coming up, we've got kickbacks next. We're doing double kickbacks. 3, 2, 1. Same thing here. We can give that wrist a little flick at the end to really engage those triceps. You can also practice holding here for 1 or 2 count. Great job. We've got about 5 seconds. Nicely done. All right, 2, 1. Moving on to our biceps. We're going to start with hammer curls. So palms face in, and we just bring those weights up to our shoulders in 2, 1. Let's go right here. Nice work. Again, we can do this standing, we can do this seated. Switch it up if you need to, whatever feels good for you. 5 seconds. 2, 1, 10-second break. Next, we're gonna go cross body curls. So alternating your arms in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Bringing your hand across your body to your opposite shoulder and getting that full extension as you come down. Great job. 10 more seconds here. We'll take a little bit longer of a break before we start at the top with those lateral raises. 2, 1. All right, we've got about 20 seconds. Shake it out one more time through the circuit, and then we'll get into our more specific kind of bodybuilding circuits. So going back to those lateral raises in 3, 2, 1, here we go. Great job, hold on to it here. 5 more seconds, and then we'll go right into those reverse fly pulses. In 2, 1, grab your lighter set of weights. And if you don't have a lighter set of weights, body weight is fine. Let's go in 2, 1, up to the side, and we're just gonna stay in that kind of top to mid-range, keeping a little bit of tension on those rear delts. Great job, 10 seconds. Squeezing those shoulder blades together. Ooh, I feel the burn. 3, 2, 1. Grabbing that heavier set of weights. If you've got them, up into an overhead extension in 2, 1. Let's go. Awesome work here. Now, hands can be apart like I have them, or you can clasp your fingers together and kind of cross your dumbbells if that's more comfortable. Give me 3, 2, 1. Nice work. Coming up right into double kickbacks in 3, 2, and 1. Extending those arms behind you. Give a little flick with the wrist. And if you want to fire those triceps up just a little bit more, we can hold for a second or two at the top. Try not to swing here. So we want to control this momentum. You've got 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Rest. All right, hammer curls next. Remember, palms face in, just like this, up to the shoulders in 2 and 1. Breathing here. Great job. If these start to feel heavy for you, we can always switch to single arm. That's fine. 3 seconds. 2, 1. Little breather. We're going right into those crossbody curls. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 20 seconds to work, and then we've got a little bit of a break. We're going to start our first circuit focused on shoulders. So we've got 3 exercises for that. Give me 5 more seconds of these crossbody curls. 3, 2, 1. Great job. Okay. For our body part specific circuits, we're going to start with shoulders. So for this one, we've got 45 seconds of each exercise, and we're going to go through 2 rounds with no rest until we get through that 3rd exercise. We'll take a 15-second break and start again. Let's go. Overhead press right here. So we can do this seated, we can do this standing. If you are recently postpartum or starting to feel any kind of abdominal separation, maybe you're a little further along in your pregnancy and this feels difficult for you, you may want to change your weight to a lighter weight, or we can go just 1 arm at a time. That's totally fine too. If you want to engage your core while we're doing this, think about just breathing with your stomach. We've got 10 more seconds here, and we're going right into a lateral raise. 5 seconds, get ready. 3, 2, 1. Here we go, lateral raises. So with our 3 shoulder exercises, we're working all three kind of heads of the deltoids, which are your shoulder muscles. So those overhead presses are great for working those anterior delts. Lateral raises work those side delts. And then if you're guessing what our third exercise is, yes, it's reverse flies. We've got 20 more seconds here, and then we'll move into those reverse flies. Now, if you have a lighter set of weights, I'd recommend doing those flies with the lighter weights, or maybe starting, getting a couple of good reps with those medium weights. 3, 2, 1, and then switching to a lighter weight. These rear delts are typically a lot weaker than our front and lateral delts, and that's totally fine. They don't get as much work. I'm gonna switch to my lighter set of weights. I don't wanna lose my form. Staying strong here. All right, if you feel unstable, bent over like this, maybe widen your stance a little bit, or you can even sit back and support yourself on your elevated surface. Great job. We've got about 10 seconds. We'll take a quick 15-second break to shake it out, and then we're going through those shoulder exercises one more time. 3, 2, 1. Great job. All right, 15-second breather. Right back to that shoulder press, seated or standing, whatever you're comfortable with. Going in 3 seconds, 2, and 1. So this workout is designed to put a lot of tension on our muscles without a lot of rest. And what does that do for us? Well, it helps improve our muscular endurance. It gives us a little bit of a cardio workout, and it also helps build some strength. Helps with a little bit of hypertrophy training. So these time under tension workouts are really great for full body conditioning and just general muscle development. If you're new to working out, this is probably gonna start to feel a little bit harder for you. 5 seconds and we'll go into lateral raises in 3, 2, 1. And if you've been doing this for a while, maybe this is a new way of moving your body, and it could feel a little bit challenging. If you're like, this isn't hard enough for me, maybe we need to move a little faster or select a little bit of a heavier weight. Great job. On these lateral raises, if we start to get tired, we can also go single arm, just like this, or you can switch to those lighter weights. That's totally fine too. We've got 12 seconds. You're doing great. Breathe here. Ooh, I'm feeling the burn in my shoulders for sure. 5 more seconds. We're gonna hinge and go into those reverse flies. 2 and 1. All right, something to try here. You can change your position of your palms to face out or to face back in, and you'll feel that by switching the position of your hands, you'll work those muscles just a little bit differently. But feel free, you can stay in that neutral position just like we did our first set. Play around with it, see what you think. 20 seconds. Doing great here. All right, last 10 seconds. We'll take a 15-second break, and then we're moving right into triceps. For our tricep set, we're gonna start with dips. So find that elevated surface in 3, 2, 1. All right, my dips are gonna be right here on this box. Remember, you can come down to the ground if you need to. We're going in 5 seconds. We've got 45 seconds to work. Trying to get a full range of motion in 2, 1. So coming down at least to parallel. See how my arms are parallel with the ground, and then press back up. So control, control, control on the way down, and explosive on the way up. Nice work. We want quality over quantity. So if you're rushing through these and not feeling anything, maybe slow it down. Focus on controlling that movement. 15 seconds. Hard on my shoulders. I have to change my hand position a little bit. All right, 5 seconds. Let's see if we can get 1 or 2 more. 3, 2, 1. Grab those medium weights And we're gonna stay on that elevated surface for a skull crusher. If you're on the ground, we can do this on the ground as well. Arms up, and then we just lower those weights back to our forehead or either side of our head. Keeping those hips up nice and high. Great job. We've got about 15 seconds here, and then we're gonna come up and we'll use our elevated surface for our third exercise as well as a support. 5 seconds, give me 1 or 2 more, and then we're coming up single arm kickbacks in 2 and 1. So I'm gonna start with my right arm, and we'll get about 10 or 12 reps here before we switch. I'll let you know when we're at the halfway mark. Great job. So elbows still parallel with the ground. Give me 1 or 2 more and switch at that halfway mark. Here we go, other side. And you'll notice I have my feet split. That's just more comfortable for me. You're welcome to do it like this. I feel a little bit more stable when I have my foot back. Great job. We've got about 10 seconds. We'll take a 15-second break, and then we're gonna start this circuit over at the top with dips. 3, 2, 1, shake it out. 15-second breather, right back to those dips. Now, if you're like me, this might be a little bit uncomfortable on your shoulders. Try changing the position of your hands or bringing your hips in a little closer. That could help too. 2, 1, let's go. Control. And back up. If these dips are really easy for you, we can also extend the legs out. That makes it a little bit more challenging, but knees bent will make it a little bit easier. Making sure we're breathing. 15 seconds. All right, we've got time for 2 or 3 more, and then we go right into those skull crushers in 3, 2, 1. Grab your dumbbells. We're gonna support the upper back, or you can do these lying flat on the ground and pressing up, hinging at the elbows, keeping those hips up if you're elevated. Great job. Awesome work. We've got less than 20 seconds here, focusing on good form. If you start to feel tired, we can switch to just a single weight. That's fine too. 10 seconds. See if we can get 2 or 3 more good reps. And then we're right into that single arm kickback in 3, 2, 1. All right, you can split the stance or not. I feel a little bit more stable here. And we want to just focus on good quality reps. Sometimes having a little bit of stability will allow us to lift a little bit of a heavier weight with a little bit more control. Great job. We've got about 5 seconds left on this side. Give me 1 more. 2, 1, and switch over to the other side. Hey, great job. We got this. Once we finish this set, we're gonna take a quick 15-second break, and then we're on to biceps, and then we do our cool down and we're done. So great job so far, keep it up. We've got 10 more seconds. Trying to control the movement and not rotate too far to the side with our core. 2, 1, rest. Okay, biceps. We're gonna start with just a regular bicep curl. We can do this seated or standing. We're going in 3, 2, 1. We want full extension at the bottom, and then squeezing those biceps to bring those weights up to your shoulders. If you have a heavier set of dumbbells, or you start to feel tired, feel free to switch to single arm. That's totally fine. We want to try to stay as consistent as we can with our movements throughout these exercises. Great job. 20 seconds. Breathing here. Now, if you feel yourself starting to swing, maybe switch to that single arm at a time, or drop a weight and we can use just a single weight and do the same thing. Great job. 5 seconds. We're going hammer curls next. We did these in our warm-up. Hammer curls, palms face in. So it works those biceps just a little differently than that supinated grip like this. Great job. Hammer curls right here. We've got 30 seconds left to work. Breathe. Seated or standing is great. My heart rate's getting up a little bit. That feels good. You know, sometimes I miss running, or I miss doing, you know, cardio the way that I was doing it before I was pregnant. But these circuit workouts are a good fit. 3, 2, 1. All right, next curl, we're gonna go curl up, flip your palms, and then come down. This is called a Zottman curl. We go up just like a regular curl, flip the palms, and then control on the way down. If that feels weird on your wrists, choose a lighter weight, or maybe just go one arm at a time, that's fine. Nice and controlled here. This is good grip strength work. Awesome job. 15 seconds. We want to stay strong in our core. We want to stay strong in our shoulders. Only thing moving on the way up is at the elbow, then we flip and control. 2, 1, rest. Shake it out. We've got one more set of biceps and then our cool down. So let's get this going. 5 seconds, right back to those regular bicep curls, palms facing out in 2, 1. Here we go. Up and control on the way down. Now we don't need to be speedy through this. Remember, this is a little bit more of like a bodybuilding set. We want slow, controlled movements, really getting that time under tension. Time under tension. Breathe. Awesome job. All right, 15 seconds left. We'll switch to that hammer curl. Let's see if we can get maybe 5 or 6 more really good reps. Nicely done. 3, 2, 1. Switch that grip. Hammer curl, palms face each other. In. And same thing here. If you start to feel tired, we can switch to just a single arm at a time. That's good too. Trying not to swing. We want control the whole way. Or you can set that weight down, palms face each other. We can go hammer curl on the way up. Totally fine. Make it work for you. Let's go. We got 20 seconds left here. Breathe. Standing, seated. If you're standing and you need to take a little break, have a seat. We can do that too. 10 seconds. All right, moving into those Zottman curls for our last set in 2, 1. Here we go. Up. I couldn't figure out if I was gonna stand or sit down. I think I want to stand for this. Curl up, flip the wrists, and control on the way down. Curl up, flip the wrists, and control on the way down. Great job. Control, nicely done. 15 seconds left here. Stick with this. Feeling the burn, appreciating the burn. Our bodies can do this. What a treat for us. That's why we move. 5 seconds, give me one more. In 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right, cool down next. That's it. Spicy little arm workout. Let's start with some arm circles. Just move that blood a little bit. Whew, I'm feeling it. Breathe, breathe. And backwards. Nice and slow, slow and controlled. Good, give me 1 or 2 more. Boom, boom. And let's just bring our palm out, and we'll get a little stretch through our forearms. Nice work. Hold it for another breath or so, and then we'll just flip that palm over, palm facing in, a little stretch right here in our forearms. Other side, let's go. Palm up, hold it for 3 or 4 breaths. And switch, we'll go palm facing down. Get a nice little stretch through our forearms. Great job. And shake it out. All right, let's go one arm across the chest. Get a nice little shoulder stretch here. And switch, other side. And let's go behind the head, stretching out those triceps. Bring your elbow up, try to reach down to your spine. And breathe, breathe, breathe. And switch, let's go other side. Hold it for a couple of breaths, same thing, trying to reach down that spine. Just moving some blood into those muscles as they're cooling down. And then we'll finish, if we can bring those hands behind our back. This is a hard one for me. Stretch those shoulders. Great job. Whew. All right, my friends, that is all for today. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed this workout. If you did, make sure you leave a comment. Let me know what you thought. And if you have not already, like and subscribe so that you can stay up to date with all of my newest workouts. I'll see you in the next one.